Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
2 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Get up!
On first down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see speed, you see strength, you see the power with the run after catch. But what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A #1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
Here's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 58 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
Well, to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go. 21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Go ahead. 11.
They go play action here on 1st down. A dump down to McKinnon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 25 carries, 75 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. This is how the defense will look for San Francisco. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Flash the stick skills on that run, but then stop shy of the 35. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman, fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. His first catch good for 9 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Niners have taken the early lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Gould with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Gould now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 7-3 the score. We're back to Santa Clara after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. The play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside. Be right back. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw is Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devontae Freeman now. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Black 80! White 20!
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. Able to fight through one tackle. Continuing to fight for more. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Now Ryan is going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
2nd and 10 now, Ryan. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A very solid gain of 27.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. At the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing again. Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Again, Ryan. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let them know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. A dump down to McKinnon. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
To the right side, complete to Taylor. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
21. Here we go.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Niners, if they can convert the extra point, they'll grab the lead.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10.
12, 12. What do you need? What do you need? 2, 2, 2. Yes.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've hit halftime here in Santa Clara with the 49ers out in front. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where it was the visiting Ravens who were able to come in and take this one on the road. Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo, who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. A little juke. He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
He's got Fuller. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're talking catch.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
That's exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They will run again with Coleman. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. This is Coleman. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he fields it cleanly. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
11.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin, and it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now McKinnon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
20!
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
21.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Here we go. 2.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
6. Go ahead.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference, defense.
Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
20!
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Like 20!
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. And it is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Hard throw, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen. They see the blocks happen. They feel really good about their vision. And then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And the Niners get there and bring him down. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Coleman. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And this is going to be 49er football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Screen play, McKinnon. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and goal from the 1. They come out here in the I.
21. 21.
He's going to get it running right. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So out come the Falcons now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
And
he loses the football a second time. And this is going to be 49er football.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Goodwin. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Holding offense.
So a decent game, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Will Fuller, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the forced fumble defensively leads to 6 points for the Niners. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Gold now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
On third down, Ryan. And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Hey. 4 down. Back 25.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking downfield for Jones. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Watch out. Black 80. 180. 2.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
180. 6.
They run once more with McCannon. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. On second down, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. This is why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah. And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might
Still
have been a little
down.
discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Here's McKinnon. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's 49 football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Here again is McKinnon. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. McKinnon. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first quarter.
They were gone in the first quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
McKinnon fitting in nicely as the feature back in this 49er offense. He's back there again now on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners Chargers take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
As they can.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.